Episode of Bespoke Architects Design in Detail. I'm Nicole Walters, Director of Bespoke Architects, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to share in detail some of the previous work that we've done at Bespoke Architects and talk through some of the particular detailing that makes these projects a real standout for us and our clients. The first project I wish to discuss is Bespoke House number 2. This was a family home on a sloping site in Ocean Grove, designed in early 2011 and constructed not long after. So this house has been finished for some time. The clients approached us with a really strong brief in terms of materials and low maintenance. They definitely had a picture in their mind of the colour palette that they were trying for. It was a very neutral and natural colour palette that worked with their site surrounding area, and they also had a fairly strong idea on how they wanted the house laid out. So they wanted to have a real delineation between public and private spaces. Their children were very small at the time, and so we zoned the house according to that design. So I'm going to start with this first image here. This is an overall shot of the north. This is a very wide block. We stuck the house on the south side to take full advantage of the north. We are in Australia, so our better aspect is north facing. And that gave them opportunity later on if they wanted to add a pool into their garden if they wanted to. So our building is very much to the south. And as you can see here, we've stepped up this plan to deal with the slope. So it was a 1.8 metre slope from the back end of the house to the front. And so we dealt with that with several levels. This house, presenting to the street, has a formal lounge and a garage and an entry. It has a mid-level here that contains the powder room and the laundry. This big open section here contains the kitchen, the dining, and the informal living. This more private section at the same level is the study, and it leads up to the bedroom wing at the back. So we're looking at the master bedroom suite here, and on the other side of that are the children's bedrooms and the guest bedrooms. As you can see, the palette is a mixture of rendered blockwork to look like concrete. That was an Ardex product that's no longer available. We used Core 10 in these eyelash forms and then spotted gum in these shiplap cladding. So a really nice combination of materials. This is it from the street front. So we can see our garage presenting to the street. We've used the same spotted gum cladding that was on the living room as a horizontal batten on the garage. We use the batten to reduce the weight. The weight of timber can require a bigger motor on a tilt panel door and therefore add to expense. So in this instance, we used a batten and split the door in half so that a single car could fit through each door. We've got our concrete render, as I discussed before, our Core 10 eyelashes up the top here, and then our opaque front door to the street, so that's letting light in, but also providing privacy. As you can see, they opted for a low fence to the street, again using the same material palette as the house. So a really nice, well thought through landscaping design as well. And here is the front entry. It's a polished concrete finish inside for the floor, or burnish finished, and that extends out into this entryway. And then we have the shiplap spotted gum here. There is a small recess behind that wall where things like shoes can be stored, and then that opaque glass door, which is also the spotted gum, and then the spotted gum decking at the front. So a real continuity in the material palette for this project, and it makes it very, very seamless and provides a lot of opportunity to do exciting things. You can see here the split level as it appears from the street with that front door open. We've got the 3 steps between the formal living and the laundry level. Sorry, I don't know why that image is ghosting like that. And then we go to laundry level powder room, and then we go up the 3 steps to that open plan living, kitchen, dining, and then we go through that sliding door to the study area, and then the window at the end is very much a design feature I like to include in houses. It makes you feel like from either end of this hallway you're going to be walking towards light, so that instantly makes the house feel bigger and brighter. So it is a design trick that I like to use. I'm going to try not to use my mouse now. This is the entry from the interior. So we've got that opaque glass. You can see it's allowing a lot of light in. You can see that burnished finished concrete floor, also reflecting a lot of light around. And you'll note that we've used a pressed or a brushed aluminium skirting board in this instance. So color palette wise, it works with the burnished concrete floor, and it also allows us to not have a dust ledge with a skirt, but protect the plaster wall from mops, brooms, children's toys, that kind of thing. The next image is looking from the dining room through that living room. There's the 3 steps up into the bedroom wing here, and we've got this solid spotted gum again, sliding door on the barn track. We'll see a detail in the next photo of that barn track style in the stainless steel. It's a beautiful door. If you notice on the image before, there is no door furniture on that door. You're just required to grab it from an end and push and pull. It is quite heavy. It is a solid timber door, hence why we've gone for a commercial track, but just really simplistic and elegant as a design solution, and again keeping in that core material palette. This is the kitchen. It's refined elegance. It's very, very simple in its presentation and very, very sleek. It doesn't have door furniture as such. The cupboards above are finger grip from below, and then the drawers and cupboards on base level are a shadow line finger grip where we put our finger in. You can see this kitchen is very well laid out. It's got the cooking zone at the back, so you've got your cooktop, range hood and underbench oven, your beautiful big prep area sink and your dishwasher, leaving the island bench to be open and multi-purpose, so we can sit at it, we can socialize at it, we can also do all our presentation of our food up there. We've included LED strip lighting at the back of these overheads. It's washing down the glass splashback. That's giving great task lighting for our workbench over there, as well as these pendant lights. These are a pendant light that is more about task lighting and the function of the island bench rather than being a feature in themselves. They work beautifully. Behind the wall of this kitchen is in fact the butler's pantry. Now that's a dry food storage area as well as having the refrigerator in there. So it does mean that the kitchen itself can be quite tidy. There's a lot of prep work that can be happen behind the scenes, and it just allows for a really clutter-free kitchen. This is the built-in bookcase. It's floating. It joins the study to the bedroom wing. As you can see, when we get up to the bedroom wing, we do have a floor finish change here to carpet, the beautiful timber stairs, and then the next image is that detail of that floating bookcase. Again, we can see the burnished concrete, the aluminium skirt, the timber stair. It's just, again, continuity of material, and then really interesting design solutions where we insert things into smaller spaces. We use glass shelves to let light through. This is a bookcase that can be for books and for storage of knickknacks. This is a bookcase that's got heavy foot traffic past it every day. Everybody who lives in that house is going to walk past it at least twice a day. So it's a really interesting and well thought out bookcase. It was a request of the client to have that added in, and it was something I was really thrilled to work in detail with the joiner on. Then we step to the outside again. We're again looking at that alfresco area. We can see the raised deck, the small magnolias, and just on this edge of the image, we're catching that frameless corner glass window into the formal lounge, which I really like. And you can see that the core 10 eyelashes are fitting at the window head, which is also our ceiling height inside, and our floor level and the level of the outside eyelashes continue at our internal floor level. So that again is making the house feel bigger than it is by carrying the eye out on the same plane. This is a view from the alfresco back to that formal living area, and we can see there the butt-jointed timber, the butt-jointed aluminium window frame, excuse me, and then the recess of the timber. So the window itself is sitting flush with the inside wall lining, in this case plaster, giving a relief to that outside timber box, so adding depth to what could otherwise be a boring elevation. Here it is from a distance. You can see that we've got that real depth happening here. You can see that your eye is being led by the core 10 eyelash looking at that beautiful gum tree at the front that was existing. And here again, you can see that our floor level carries through at the same, as does our ceiling level. This is the master suite, so this is the bedroom window here, and then we've got the opaque glass again for the walk-in robe in the ensuite. So again, a really beautifully light-filled space offering privacy. This is the first image that we saw again. So you're beginning to see the play of lines. I really like to add horizontal elements to the facade. I think it's really important to add that articulation to the facade. I know it's one of the first things pulled off when we're trying to meet budget is these articulation pieces that perhaps aren't perceived to have a function. They're more of an aesthetic. But when you look at them in context, when you look at them done really, really well on a project, you can appreciate that the value is in definitely adding them. So we've got 3 in this elevation. We've got a C shape, we've got an upside down L, and then we just have the horizontal one here, and it just ties your eye and drags your eye around that facade, tying in again beautifully with the person access gate, which is also core 10. You'll also note up the top here we do have some solar panels. The clients were really against solar panels on brackets, so they did request that we put in a pitched roof to hold those solar panels. So though that roof was designed, sole purpose is to hold the solar panels, but to make it look like it's supposed to be there. And I think we achieved that really well. It's not a roof that you can see unless you are standing that far away. It's certainly not obvious from the street either. This is that formal lounge box at the front. It is the spotted gum shiplap. It does have the butt jointed glass, which I really like, and it's adding that depth that we discussed here. So the depth that we're getting through those created add-on eyelashes, we're now getting in our timber structure at the front, and we begin to see the eyelashes poking through at the front as well. So you can just see it's a beautiful study in just using really plain parapet form. So nothing overly complicated about the form. It is really just rectangles and boxes, but then we're adding depth to the facade through the eyelashes, through recessing windows. And I think the result is really, really beautiful. And of course, the symmetry, which is so important. On this box, asymmetry up the back. But this box, we've got the rainwater head and the downpipe dead center and the 2 butt jointed windows there. This is another angle really showing how that butt jointed window works. Again, it's just an exquisite piece of detailing that I'm really glad the clients embraced. I mean, this is not a cheap detail to achieve, but it's really beautiful. And you can see that that portion of the window is actually a frameless double hung. So again, it offers the functionality of airflow through that particular room while also giving you a really beautiful corner. This is that person gate, core 10. We did design the design on this gate. So we did work out a layout for these squares. And again, as I said, the house really is a combination of just rectangles and squares and then extruded form to offer light and depth. So we replicated that in our design for the person gate. You can see that the slope is quite severe at the front and the gate has been cut to suit. And this is a detailed shot of those garage doors. So you can see that fixed panel in the middle while these 2 sections tilt. And then again, the downlight. So there's no external feature lighting. If we go backward to our overall image, there's not a single light that's catching your eye. Everything is downlit from those eaves. It's all about concealed lighting in this project rather than feature lighting. It was more about the materiality of the project rather than lights as a feature. This project was something we undertook with Southeast Homes. They are a builder in Barwon Heads. We have had the opportunity to work with them on multiple projects since. Another house that I will talk through in detail is our Bespoke House number 4, which is the one in the golf course, which everybody loves. When the golf course house saw this house, they asked for the same team. They were that impressed. So a big thank you to Southeast Homes and our clients on this project. It was something that we thoroughly enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this look at design in detail. If you have any questions on this project or there's any details of other projects that you'd like to request, please add a comment in the section below and we will get back to you. with that video as soon as we can. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Detail and Design with Bespoke Architects.